Greetings and salutations, everybody. It is Mecha GM. I'm back with another episode of Three Men and an Anime. As usual, I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts, Eric Carlson and Gav Leaf. How are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Hooray, we're humans.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, that's true. I have lied to everyone.
I am, at best, a meat popsicle.
Given how hot it is where you are right now, Gav, is that actually feasible?
Well, it's not so much that. I'm sure we've discussed this before, but it's a case of I live in a brick oven,
Right. Right.
which is designed to be for cold weather, and unfortunately, when it gets hot weather, it's like no, the heat does not transpose from one to the other. It's gonna boil you now. Oh, good.
Lovely.
Yes.
Sorry to hear that. At any rate,
That's fine.
yeah. Anyways, we are here to talk this week about Eric's most recent series selection, which is the third and final season of Mob Psycho 100.
Repeat.
Hooray!
Yeah, we have hit all three seasons of it. And we're not even super far behind on season 3, just a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
We're actually less behind on this than we often are in the quote new shows we cover.
Yeah.
I think the most on top of what we were was when we did Killing Bites, and that was This is much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me just get this completely the freak out of the way before we start. I think we all highly recommend season 3 if you and the entire series if you've not seen the entire series. Correct?
Show is terrible. This is a lie. It's honestly like I won't go into it, but yes, it is worth watching.
Yes.
Yes.
So, if you want to know whether we recommend the show and without any spoilers and such, we're gonna get that right out of the way right at the beginning. Yes,
Yep.
It's great. Go watch the damn show.
And if you keep listening after this point and you get spoiled, it's your fucking fault. We warned you.
Exactly. Because I don't know if we'll be able to contain our sort of ability to talk around stuff on this one for reasons.
Yeah.
Put it this way: we fully appreciate that this story is now told as it should be. God bless. Like, what's his name? The guy who did
Alex Hirsch.
Gravity Falls. Hirsch, yeah. Alex Hirsch and won. Congratulations for standing up to people with bags of money and saying, no, the story is done. We want more of this. Good Lord, we want more. But no, this is done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Done. Now move on to something else. Do something more.
Which I'm 100% certain one will do because
Will do.
Yeah.
Dude is a prolific and very talented writer.
The point I'm trying to make is we absolutely want more of this. Maybe not Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho is done. The story is told.
I want more of.
I want more of this.
I want more of one. Whatever one's working on, I want more of it.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
And I want Bones to animate it.
Please.
One and Bones.
Or Kill Annie. Someone really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I want Kill Annie to animate a show written by one. I want that a lot now.
Kind of great. Yeah.
God damn, I want that a lot now. At any rate. So, for those of you who have not seen any of Mob Psycho, why are you watching this episode?
Yeah.
You should be watching Mob Psycho.
Yes.
Well, you should be watching our previous 2 episodes on this show.
But watch the show first. Like seriously.
And then that, yeah.
Seriously, like no, we're not kidding when we say go watch Mob Psycho. It's really good.
I'm just gonna get this out there. Mob Psycho 100, now that it's done, is Bebop tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Legitimately,
that is as high a praise as I can give. It's Bebop tier.
It's literally. I mean, and I said this on the day when we were watching it. It's like, it's gonna sound like hyperbole and like over exaggeration. This is quite possibly the best anime. It's certainly the best anime in the modern era.
Yeah.
The only reason things like Bebop outdo it is because Bebop didn't have the benefit of computer animation. Not that this relies on that all that much.
No. I mean, I bet they do. We just don't notice it.
Yeah, we just can't tell.
Yeah.
In fact, I know for a fact it does because Bones works very well with computer. Does really good work with computer.
That's the fair point. That's the fair point.
It's them and Ufotable, like legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, this thing's whoever's doing Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, whoever's doing Chainsaw Man.
Like,
I don't remember who that is off the top of my head. Was that Mappa?
That show is not my cup of tea, but dear Lord,
Mappa.
God, it's gorgeous. Was it Mappa? Yeah, it probably is Mappa.
I think so, yeah.
At any rate, Yeah, so Mob Psycho is the story about Shigeo Kageyama, also known as Mob. If you don't know who Mob is, he's a middle school
character.
He's a Japanese middle schooler with incredible psychic powers who keeps a very tight rein on his emotions so that they don't boil over and make his powers hurt people around him. That is his Raizen Detra, and a large theme of the show is Mob. First off, finding ways to sort of improve himself without needing to use his psychic powers, because those don't make him special. But also, the other theme is learning to accept himself for who he is.
Yes.
And dear God, season 3 nails that to the fucking wall perfectly.
Yeah, that is ultimately the theme of season 3 is Mob coming to grips with who he is and who he wants to be.
Yep.
I mean, the overarching theme of the entire show, seasons 1, 2, and 3, is Mob growing into himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Throughout the entire thing, he starts off as this shy, doesn't even cover it. Like,
I mean, utterly withdrawn. Like,
utterly withdrawn within
I would say like that. Yeah, that's a running theme through the whole show, but it's always been like one of those like a secondary or tertiary theme. Like, this is very much front and center in this one.
Yes, I think that's the point that's been building throughout the show. You see, this is the thing. In the first season, his attitude and the way he behaved was the MacGuffin of the show.
Right.
It was pushing him over that 100%, which would cause his powers to go wild, and oh shit, he's this super powerful psycho. Blah 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 blah. Season 2, it was his effect on those around him.
Yes.
And identifying and empathizing and realizing that not only is he not alone, with the issues that he's facing, that there are others out there dealing with those same issues from the other side of being trying to find that middle ground.
Mm.
And then into season 3 now, we see him essentially develop into a normal human being. He develops into
well-adjusted.
Yeah, a well-adjusted high school kid.
Yep.
They said at least as well-adjusted as you can be given all the shit he's been through.
Yeah, and also as well-adjusted as you can be as a teenager. Let's be real. And they just continue to do a great job with the characters around Mob. Like, all of them are great, as always. Regan continues to be both one of the most immature people you'll ever see, and also one of the best adults in the room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yep.
Master bullshit artist and also a font of wisdom.
Yep. And I think I don't think we're gonna be able to hit this like in order or anything like that. I really think this is just one of those seasons we really just gonna talk about point by point.
You just need to sort of watch the show, because it's broken into 3 different
mini arcs,
for a lack of a better term.
There are 2 main arcs and sort of a little mini arc in the middle that links them together.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. The middle one. Like, the show's funny as always, but the middle arc is just peak 1 comedy. Like, wow.
Yeah.
But Regan, I adore the fact that Regan is finally able to, at the very end, Mob, it's not just Mob accepting who he is, it's Regan doing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Regan sort of has always, but he's never really been out about, the fact that he's a bullshit art. So he finally basically tells Mob who and what he is.
Yeah.
Well,
dude, I'm a fucking liar. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, this is the thing. It's kind of the difference. It's like Mob. As much as it is for Mob to accept himself, it's more Mob needs to learn who he is, not so much accept. Regan's the one that needs to do the accepting. He knows full well what he is, but he's lying to himself as much as everybody else.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say Regan. I think it's Regan needs to accept who he is because he's kind of ashamed of how much of a bullshit artist he is.
Yeah.
Like he knows he's a bullshit artist. He's and he accepts that. He just needs to not be ashamed of it.
And Mob does need to accept him. Like, he is deathly terrified of his own powers.
Yes.
And that's the thing he has to learn to accept, is that, they're scary, but they are him. They're part of who he is.
The important part that I actually noticed throughout this season, um, the, again, comparing it to the previous seasons, the big theme, at least for Mob, is that his power usage in this season is very minimal.
Yes.
Like, yeah, there are some big set pieces, but the big, and this is what may put a lot of people off expecting another big, battle series. That is not the point of this show at all.
I mean, there's
there are battles, but
Yeah.
for the most part, when Mob's powers are used in an offensive manner, it's being used against his will.
there's. It's the fact that Mob's powers are never the answer to the problem.
Right.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about the first arc with Dimple.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The Mob doesn't use his powers other than to passively defend himself. When Dimple absorbs his powers, that's the only time that Mob's power is being used in offensive manners.
Does Dimple absorb his powers?
Yes, he does.
Doesn't really absorb.
Yeah.
He does. You're right. Okay.
He drains it completely.
Yep. And Mob lets him.
That's how he. Yeah, that's how he's able to fight off the giant broccoli. That will make sense if you watch the show.
Yes. You know what? Thinking about it, like I just realized, like honesty is a really big central theme to this season. Because,
Oh, yeah.
Like you've got like part of the first arc involves like various bullshit, but what it basically boils down to is Mob goes out with his friend whose name I can't remember, the blonde kid.
I'll look it up while you're going on.
Yeah, but to buy Mob some clothes, and the blonde kid has impeccable taste when it comes to himself. I don't think he's fucking with Mob. I think he just has shit taste so he's not looking in the mirror. And he recommends Mob this fucking ugly monkey shirt. Like it's got monkey faces on it, and it's got like dagged shoulders, and it's ridiculous. It is terrible.
Hanazawa, by the way.
Hanazawa, thank you. And he's walking around the shirt, and all his friends see him. He's like, "Wow, that's sure a shirt you've got there. You probably, it's cold. You should button up your jacket." And it's during the fight with Dimple, who has gained control of the cult worshipping the giant broccoli, fighting him, and it's when Dimple like blows off Bob's jacket, and he sees the shirt, and he stops dead in his tracks and goes, "Holy shit, that's an ugly shirt. Why did you buy that? What possessed you wear that fucking ugly piece of shit shirt?" Mom just sort of stops in his tracks and goes, "Huh. Yeah, you're still my friend, because only you, my friend, would tell me this shirt is fucking stupid."
And yeah, that whole thing is getting both Mob to sort of, that like Mob sort of blew Dimple off about what some of Dimple's wants and desires, and
Yeah.
Dimple sort of has been lying to himself about what he actually genuinely wants at this point. He's sort of caught in the rut of what he used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, Mob basically is like, "Okay, tell me what you actually want, Dimple." And Dimple's like, fuck.
Shit, I don't know anymore.
Oh, shit. What I want, oh, God, I want friendship. Shit. Oh, shit. I fucked up.
Notice that theme of being honest with yourself?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the second arc, which is hilarious, it's about, like, the
telepathy club.
Telepathy Research Club. Both discovering one of the members is an actual telepath.
One of the former members, but yes.
Former members, rather. And going, you know what? We really just have been slacking off and being bullshit about this. And the Prez actually does deeply care about this. We should probably honestly help her for a change instead of, like, just playing video games and eating snacks. As great as that is.
Yep. And so they do.
Yeah.
And they're able to use telepathy to actually contact aliens. And it's goddamn hilarious.
And it's fucking hilarious.
There are sections of this arc that are straight out of Space Dandy.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and
even
the last
that-
arc is all about Bob coming to terms with his own suppressed urges and being honest about how he feels about those and how he wants to interact with the world.
Yep.
Like, yeah. Honesty with yourself and others is actually a really big theme here.
Yep.
And more than just words, like the actions also.
Yeah, it's really good, like really good.
Made it sound really wholesome, which it kind of is, but also, there's like gorgeous animation and
Some of the best
bald
fight
alien
choreo
chicks and a giant broccoli monster
and some of the best fight choreography you're going to see in anime.
yeah.
Yep. Like I say, it's not. This is not a battle show, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to go all out.
No.
on
Yeah.
the
I will say,
when they
as
do
good
have
as the
fight.
fight choreography in this is, it is not peak Mob Psycho fight choreography.
That's in season 2.
That's in
Yeah.
season 2. The fight,
That's in
the
season
group
2,
fight
yeah.
versus the teleporting guy is the best fight choreography I think I have ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
The fact they made that fight able to follow that fight is mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm.
Wizardry, I swear. But no, the
Not
fights,
only changes of perspective, but changes of location and opponent, all happening at the same time, and you can follow it.
Yep.
That's yeah.
but again, the fights in Mob Psycho are all conversations.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because any good fight scene is a conversation.
Yep. And dear Lord, the oh my god, the final 2 episodes, like
Oh,
oh my
Jesus,
god,
yeah.
Yeah.
they're so good. And
This is
I love
this
the
is-
fact the big confrontation, like Mob and Hanazawa get into another battle, and the
Yep.
roles are basically completely reversed from their first one.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Hanazawa realizes it, and he wins by not actually really fighting, but by saving everyone around them. It's like,
Yeah.
and you can see he's so proud that he's like, I figured it out. I figured it fucking out. And now I'm going to collapse in a pile of unconsciousness.
To be fair, he earned it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
absolutely did.
He earned a rest.
Oh, absolutely. That boy, he did not give up on Mob, and he did not give up on the people around him, and that's just,
That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah.
he's so good. And then, Mob's brother comes in and does his damnedest and can't quite get through to Mob. And what does this leave to save the day? Well, of course it freaking leaves Regan, because of course it is.
Yep.
It
Yep.
leaves the two Mob's 2 closest friends, Regan and Dimple. By the way, Dimple is dead
Yep.
at this point, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a ghost. He was always going to be a
But
little
he's
bit.
dead. Yeah, he's re-deaded,
Yes.
but back again because
It'll make sense.
it makes sense. it
I will say, I love. This is the thing I like about this show, and this is what, honestly, for me, this is what sets it apart. When I say this is one of the best animes of the modern era, it's not because it's prettier. It is. It's not because it's cleverer. It
It
is.
is.
It's because it's not formulaic. Like, one has such a good like way of writing to catch people out. Like, we kind of spitballed and predicted the final arc,
to a degree,
and
yes.
kind of to a degree,
Yeah.
but he still spun it in a way that we never saw coming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like,
And also, we spitballed it because we're like,
What
I
on
mean,
earth could top?
yeah. What could top the last fight? Like,
Yeah.
and more importantly, like, what themes has one been playing with the entire fucking series?
Right.
yeah,
And so we came up with the Mob is basically going to be fighting himself, and that's kind of right.
Yeah.
And Mob is sort of the big final threat, and that is accurate.
but when I say we called it, so to speak, to a degree, it was more of a case of less a case of us going, oh well, this is the obvious direction it's going to go in, and more us throwing shit at a wall, and one of them kind of stuck.
Also,
Yeah.
we were putting things together, like, again, as Eric pointed out, we were looking at what one had been writing throughout the series, and what made sense with the themes and stuff, because we trusted his writing that much.
Yeah.
Also,
even-
while we were on the ballpark, his actual final arc was better than what any of us were thinking it was.
Yeah. Which,
And
Jesus
at the-
Christ, how rare is that?
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's willing to play with you at the same time as well. Just as you think everything's sorted, okay? Regan shows up. That's going to be it. Okay, we've got the 2 leads now, basically. It's going to all be sorted out. Regan starts charging towards Mob to chase him down. The fucking theme song from the first series starts playing to accompany his charge. That is peak anime bullshit.
Yeah.
And he
that's
reaches
pure
out to
anime bullshit.
lay his
That's
hand
like,
on Mob's shoulder, and he falls an inch short.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get
like-
smacked down, music's done, and nothing's resolved. We're carrying on. What?
Yeah, and then he reaches
Now
forward.
that is some well done bathos.
Oh God, it's so
Yes.
good, so good. Ah,
Like the direction for like I don't know who directed that episode, but he needs a fucking Oscar.
yes, so good,
Yeah.
so good. Ah. Oh my God. But yeah, like I really like the whole first arc of the season 3, like watching Dimple, like watching as Dimple has taken over the various cults that have all formed around the broccoli, and and Helmet Head, and watching as that spreads like a spider web through the thing, and realizing the sort of the encroaching threat that actually poses to the world,
Yeah.
and then watching as the answer is Bob just having a conversation with his friend because
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. Not a big fight. Not a.
I mean, there is a big fight, but
There is a big fight, and there is
There are a couple
psychic-
actually, but yeah.
there is psychic confrontation, but it's more just a case of Mob defending himself so he can go and talk to his friend.
Yeah.
The resolution is a conversation.
And then Dimple makes a big damn heroic sacrifice at the end because he's a redeemed villain and therefore has to go out.
And that
Yep.
scene is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Dimple has a big fight with the broccoli. Trust us, that makes sense. Just watch it seriously.
It's actively horrifying, honestly.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it is.
Like-
It is simultaneously fucking hilarious and horrifying.
There is saying in anime that wish they could have that kind of body horror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like holy shit, that was like
Parasite wished it had that kind of fucking body
Oh
horror.
God, yeah, no, I would agree with you on that completely. Parasite wishes it was half this smart.
Yeah. No,
Parasite
Parasite. thinks-
Parasite thinks it's at least as half as
It's not. But at any rate, yeah, no, I did. Oh my God, just the everything.
Yeah.
We're seriously gushing at this point. aren't
Yeah, we really are. Well, I mean, we just
It's
watched
fucking Mob Psycho.
we
It's
just
fucking Mob
watched
Psycho.
the best show
Well,
any of us have watched for the past like at least a decade.
Yeah.
Like, stick the fucking landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Way to pull the exact opposite of Kato the Light.
oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
And
but like,
And
unlike
although-
Kato, this never felt like a tightrope walk. It just felt like
Yeah.
one was just like, "Yep, I'm just walking this line. This is as smart as I think it is."
yep, I
Yeah,
know exactly
it's
where
a
this is
fucking-
going.
Fucking like razor thin like mono line. He's just strutting along, not even giving a shit. Director's like, yeah, I'm right behind him. It's great. Chief animator's like, yeah, this is cake.
Yeah.
Every other show behind them has fallen off into the abyss.
Ah! Ah!
I will say as well, it's a shame that this show doesn't get more credit. I know there are people in the know that rate it extremely highly, but in casual, look at me being all fucking anime snob. In casual circles, it's much ignored.
I will say, of everything I know, virtually everybody who watched the whole thing loves it to death.
yes,
Yeah.
It's not as niche as like Odd Taxi was, which is another
Yeah.
contender for upper level of amazingness. Oh, that's almost entirely on its writing. The animation is good.
Yeah, the animation's just the animation does its job in On Taxi.
Yeah.
It's not like a goddamn Machiavellian feast for the eyes the way that Mob Psycho
Right.
is.
I think maybe that's
Jesus Christ, a fucking walk cycle.
yeah,
That one, you know the one I'm talking about. That one fucking walk cycle.
yeah.
There are like moments of this in season 3, and this happens in all 3 seasons, where there'll be a little moment of like somebody walking down the street, and you realize that this is like KyoAni level of like high end like micro animation, and this going on. You're like,
Yeah. It's literally just them walking on the street. They don't need to have them reach out and play with the leaves on the trees as they're walking past with individual fingers. They could just have their hand by the side and follow the walk cycle. No, they're going to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, like this is like the level of like detail in some of these scenes is like it's the amount of animation work people put into like the big Sakuga fight scenes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but it's someone it's our group of characters walking through the woods.
Yeah.
Naruto wishes it was this good during its giant fucking Sakuga scenes. And it's just some guys walking through the woods.
And again, like those are that's Naruto's party piece. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I'm not knocking those scenes in Naruto. Let me just say, like, especially not the choreography for them. Like,
I might be, but I'm not a big Naruto fan.
I'm not a Naruto fan either, but I will grant that the fight choreography, they know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
fair enough. Fair enough.
And mind you, they did borrow from Bebop at least once, but Bebop borrowed that from Bruce Lee, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, cross-pollination is a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it very well might be that they just happen to both go, we're going to reference this Bruce Lee scene, and you know what? Fair enough. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, really.
I'm almost certain that's the case.
Yeah, thinking about it, really, it's like, you know what?
Well, and just not to mention any names, but this kind of show and this kind of effort and level of animation is why I get pissed the fuck off when people start looking at showing me shit. It's like, look how good this is animated. It's like, no, this is a fucking just spaffing computer compositing all over the screen. You can't see the animation because of all the flashing lights.
Right.
Naming no names. King
But
Demon
Gav's
Slayer.
not even the animation nerd in the trio.
no, no, that's Eric. Oh, did we mention the music? We should mention the music.
Christ, the music, yeah.
The Mob Psycho
lighting
choir
it.
does not fucking miss. Like,
In
Yeah.
a fucking bottle. The smartest thing they ever did was getting that group of musicians together and saying, "You're coming back for 2 and 3."
Yeah.
legitimately, if someone doesn't hire like the Mob Psycho, doesn't like dragoon those people into doing a theme for something else.
I'll tell you something. I know it's because it's linked to the show, but if I don't see Mob Psycho Choir doing themes for other shows, that's that is fucking criminal.
I mean, unless they just
agree.
don't want to. Like if they're done and they're just like, we're done, we've done the thing we want to do. Fine, go ahead. They've earned their flowers.
Yeah. They've got their triumph. It's called Mob Psycho 100.
Like I'm hard pressed to argue that like if they want to be done, they can be done. But like if they don't, they should go. People like dear Lord, someone else should look at this. Yeah.
The thing with it is as well, and this has been covered by people far more eloquent than myself. It's not just the song.
No.
It's the crafting of the actual intro itself. Like you have to watch the intro. It's telling you the entire fucking story.
Yeah. No. Again, like
The thing about Mob Psycho, the Mob Psycho openings, it always tells you the entire plot, but it's wrapped up in such a fucking lunatic fever dream that it's impossible to decipher it until you've already seen the entire season. Go back and watch it again.
Like literally, we always started piecing it together during the final opening scene. Final time we watched the opening, we're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Well fucking played, guys. Gee.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The show's so good. But no, like it's not even just like the themes, like the opening and ending. Oh right, they went back for the end credits. They went back to the oil and glass thing too.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And-
And oil and glass, just
God, it's
and
gorgeous.
just fucking just better than it had ever been.
Yeah, it was.
honestly.
It's like season
Better
one's
than it
ending was
ever
great.
been. Just fucking phenomenal.
Just
that bit with the fucking glare from the sun when it goes into color.
yeah.
Just,
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
And like just the incidental music throughout the season two is just like as usual incredible.
Yeah.
Like whoa.
This show is literally. I mean, I'm like again, it might sound like I'm not being paid to say any of this, but it is. It is almost flawless. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
writing,
I'm
music,
sure-
animation.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are things you can probably nitpick if you really want to, and,
Yeah,
and that's fine.
There's always room for improvement. You can always go in there and like find a thread that you can tug on.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ.
Also, I
like,
want to say one other thing. I want to touch on one other bit. I fucking adore Tsubomi. As little screen time
yeah.
as she gets, that's the girl Bob has a crush on.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I. Yeah. Let's talk about Tsubomi. because it's so easy just to write her off as like this sort of unattainable girl that doesn't know Mob exists and is kind of like casually cruel. And then you watch the show, you watch her actual interactions and how she's always kind of got an eye out for Mob and making sure he's okay while not getting directly stuck in. She's always she's just generally uninterested in shit around her.
Yep.
She always makes time for Mob. The problem is Mob just doesn't have the confidence to go and hang out with her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Mob's
And like,
and she, yeah, and the spoilers. Part of the end thing is him going and confess his feelings to Sabomi, and there's a bit where it's like there's a fucking tornado happening. There's an actual like goddamn like city destroying threat happening. She's sitting in the park waiting for him. She's like, I wonder if he's coming. This is pretty bad. Well, he hasn't called me. So there's only one thing to do. I guess I should sit back down and wait.
And eventually he does actually confess, and she turns him down because that's not how she feels about him, but they're still friends.
They're friends,
Yeah.
yeah. And because he's got that out of the way, they actually become friends. They chat on the phone and hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He even comes back with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, how did it
Also
go?
bawling his eyes out because he had his
Yeah.
little hormone-driven heart crushed. But
Well-
even as gently as she could have done it. Like,
Did you notice the thing that happened at that point in that last episode?
which bit?
Throughout the entire show, and I didn't realize this until this happened. Throughout the entire show, whenever it was like showing the percentage of his stress rising, or the show itself referring to him, it always referred to him as Mob.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, right. It referred to him by Shigeo. Yeah.
At the very end, when he'd come to accept himself, when he'd grown into this well-adjusted being, it referred to him as Shigeo.
Shigeo
Yep.
Kageyama. Yep.
Good good catch, Gav.
Yep.
Good catch.
I did notice that and forgot.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I was just too busy beating down the animation boner I had.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I saw that and said, "Oh, that's neat," and then was distracted by something that was something incredible. I don't remember what, but no, that's that you bring. It's a really good catch, Gav.
That's an excellent catch, and like, Christ, it once again raises the show's esteem in my.
Yep. No, it's
eyes.
great. Again, great
yeah.
visual storytelling right there.
Yep. I do think maybe I do think maybe, and this might be anime snob coming out again, but I can see why some people may be put off with this show, because it came out around about a time where there was a number of shonen shows. My Hero had just released another season, I believe. Demon Slayer had just come along at the same time. And this came along, and the marketing and advertising did seem to aim towards that kind of crowd. But then, as you say, when you actually pay attention to the show and you're watching it through, and the fights get less and less, and it's more about the relationships than it is the fights, and all that kind of stuff, it's like it's marketed towards the Demon Slayer crowd, but it's actually written for the Odd Taxi crowd.
Well, I mean, it's written for
You
both.
know what I
It's
mean?
legitimately, it's written for both.
Yeah, I think it's trying to be.
And honestly, like, it's written for both and does a good job being for both.
It is. No,
I can see why people might be put off by the art style.
that's the
The art
I
style, yes.
Yeah, like I can absolutely see where like you might bounce hard off of the art style because
I mean, there's a
very heavily stylized and is not afraid to fuck around with character models.
Well, I mean, part of it is Bones did a really clever thing, in my opinion, of just sticking with something akin to one's own art, which is not the best. He's not the best sort of technical artist out there, and that's why
his strength lies in other areas.
Yes.
And he invested his skill points in other places.
Right, and this is why they brought when they did the manga version of One Punch Man, they brought in a different artist for it, and one's totally cool with that because, dear God, the guy they brought in for it is fucking amazing. I can't remember his name, but he's incredible. Like,
he was the guy that actually found the webcomic, I think, and said he wanted to
something like that. But yeah,
develop it.
and and that's part of the reason that for a lot of people, when you're talking about one's works and that have been animated, they immediately gravitate initially towards One Punch Man, because visually, just looking at it, even not looking at the animation. And by the way, season 1 of One Punch Man's animation is incredible. So we're not.
Yeah.
But like you're like, oh, it is so much. It is. I understand why it's so easy to be drawn to One Punch Man, like over Mob Psycho.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
But like the second you start watching how Bones is using the simple line work to make the animation easier and to do more animation with it.
Yeah.
Like the conversations are highly animated because the line work's so simple.
And it lets them go completely bonkers with like really weird esoteric shit. Like, we're just going to animate this character in a normal scene, but they're going to be animated like oil paint on glass because we felt like it. And it lets them go fucking bonkers on the environments and how they interact with the environments.
Yep. And also, like...
Again, looking back at the fucking broccoli fight.
Yeah. And additionally, like, it allows them to, like... We're talking about these incredible reality warping powers to a certain degree, and...
Right.
They can go nuts with that and not actually feel like it's breaking the visual style of the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, oddly enough, what the style itself reminds me of, not the animation clearly, but the actual style.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff Mike Judge did.
A bit.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of that sort of sketchy quality to it.
Yeah. A little bit.
I mean, also, like, boy, howdy,
I
I just love the how sort of watercolory the environments are usually too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
They do that a lot, where unless there's a solid wall in the scene, like a lot of the background is just like some sort of abstract.
But yeah, no, I can totally understand why. Like, Mob Psycho is not the easiest show to just like go. And I will say, like, also Mob Psycho did do really well its first season. Like, everyone like gushed about it. Yeah. Mob Psycho season 2 fell off because of how long it was between the seasons.
Yep.
That actually did hurt it a bit. Like, there was a long layoff for reasons. I'm gonna double check when it came out. I'm gonna double check what's all right. So, right, it was like basically three-year chunks between each season, because season 1 ended in 2016. Started in 2016 and ended in 2016. Season 2 started 2019. Season 3 started 2022.
Yeah.
So there's 3-year gaps, which in the seasonal anime era, like that, people are gonna fall off because of that. Like, it happens.
But you know what? I'd rather they take the time to fucking do this shit.
I agree completely, and I think everyone involved would agree with you, and I think everyone who watches the whole thing will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why this is why we're beating the drum for this right now. It's like
yeah. Like I said, there's not a point where this show falls out. Even there's not even a weak performance in any of the voice acting or anything like that.
I do want to. At some point, I'm going to rewatch the series with the English dub. I do want to see.
Me too.
I do want to see how they do it.
Yeah,
I think it's actually
mostly because also I know the voice actor for Serizawa.
Oh, cool.
It might be a certain person we
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, Bosco.
Now it's Bosco. Cool.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of cool.
Neat. I'll actually looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I do want to rewatch it. Again, it's one of the shows that I think definitely merits rewatching. Because I'm certain there's stuff I missed. Like, I know. Hell, back to like One Punch Man. There's shit I missed in season 1 of One Punch Man. Like, like my second and third rewatches. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's one is his writing is dense in a very entertaining and breezy way. So he's good. He's a good writer.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, again, just to spin off on a tangent. Season 2, everyone gives season 2 of One Punch Man shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And even to be fair, the animation isn't as good as season 1. It's not terrible. It's just not season 1. We've been spoiled.
From what I understand,
I enjoy being spoiled by good animation, and I do hold it against the show. Thank you very much.
For everything that 1 brings to it, the reason, the writing, the story, the characters, that all follows through.
Sure, and
it's the same in this
we've
show.
all established that 1 is a goddamn friggin'
he's one of the best writers.
An amazing comic writer. We've all established that. Yep. Like, he's up there with fucking Kirby and Jim Lee and all and
I mean, I would say
fucking anarchist wizard whose name escapes me, Alan Moore.
Yeah, No, there are plenty of great writers in Japan, other great writers in Japan too. Like obviously,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
But I will say that a show is a collaborative effort.
oh no, it is
It's
absolutely.
And
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
someone starts dropping the ball, like season 2 of
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man, it's just
You notice it.
I'm sorry, you notice it, and everyone suffers because someone didn't want to fucking wait around and let the artist do their fucking job. Looking at you, every producer ever.
Yeah, fair enough. I honestly, major kudos to the people who hold the license for the anime of Mob Psycho and
Yes.
letting Bones take their time to get to it.
Keeping it with Bones, yeah.
Like seriously. Like I'm very happy about that.
Plus, it gives them that opportunity to do that little cool thing they did in the title intro. Because it basically flashes up, written by one in big letters. Then it's
Yeah.
like, animated by, they put the B and the S on the end.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That's a really good touch, yeah.
That was really good.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, we are gushing, and I think
One and
deservedly
only
so.
one indeed.
Yeah.
One and only one indeed. Yeah. We're gushing. We are obviously gushing, and I think it's deserved.
Yeah.
I think this is a real contender to basically move up my ranking charts, my personal rankings up to like at least near the top, if not the top of my personal anime rankings. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Like, it's one of those situations where, yes, there are animes that I enjoy, I could rewatch regularly and enjoy more from my personal tastes.
Mhm.
But from a completely, like, technical point of view,
yeah,
this is a masterpiece.
yeah. It might just be my favorite now. I have to think about it. Like
It's.
I'm
I
hard.
said it before, and this is the highest praise I can give. I've never said this before, and do not say it lately. It's Bebop tier.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's that damn good. Like it legitimately, it really is. It's spectacular.
And even though we obviously we've covered previous seasons before, and I don't think we gushed that hard, but now I think it's mostly because we're seeing the culmination.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
we're
everything,
seeing
the
everything
whole
come
arc.
together, and all the themes throughout the entire series that have been carried through to completion.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and he stuck the landing. And,
Yeah,
and
like
it's,
that takes doing. Like
yeah.
not everyone
So
can
when
do
we
that.
say, so when we're talking about this, really, although this is the episode for Mob Psycho 100 season 3,
We're talking about the
we are
series.
talking about the series in a whole.
Yeah.
Mob Psycho as an entity.
Yeah, we really are. Like oh my god. It makes me happy that there's something like that this level that this is art. Legitimately this is
Yeah.
art. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's nice to see the actual like proper high mucky muck fucking art, which this is. Fight me.
oh, it is absolutely.
And exists in a commercial area.
Yep, and it's approachable. Like it really is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take this again,
Yeah.
like a lot of the other great stuff we've covered. You can take this on different levels too. Like this is a
And
very
that's honestly one of the great marks of good. I hate to use this phrase because I dislike most of it, but good pop art.
yeah.
And I do not like most pop art.
That's understandable. I get why.
But like good pop art can be enjoyed on multiple levels and can be taken like as shallow as you like it. That is just a can of soup. Fine. Or that is just a movie about a cyborg cop shooting bad guys.
Yep.
Cool. But it always rewards you for digging deeper and looking more at the themes and the
Yep.
context of everything that's happening around it. And that's Mob Psycho 100. It
I am-
rewards you for going deeper,
It
but
does.
you can enjoy it just for watching a kid blow stuff up with his brain powers.
Yeah. Legitimately. I'm reminded of two things. One of the things about I like about Mob Psycho, I'm reminded of Neil Gaiman's sort of foreword that he wrote for Volume 2 of Astro City, which was Confession. But my favorite comic book series. And which he was talking about how a story can be about more than what it's about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that very much applies to Mob Psycho. And other shows that we've talked about, which I think one of my favorite, I think probably with the best similarity of the stuff we've covered which sort of hits that level of so many different ways you can take it and how deep you can take it, might honestly be Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madoka Magic is another one.
Yeah.
That sort of
it's been so long since we talked about it that I don't want to let that one slide on the.
Yeah.
I will say I personally enjoy Mob Psycho more.
I think Mob Psycho's a better show overall.
I think
because again, it's Bebop tier, but Madoka Magica is fucking Madoka Magica.
It's
There's
its
no
own
reason
thing.
why it's fucking like completely warped the entire magical girl genre around itself.
Oh yeah.
Sort of similar to Evangelion, except it doesn't have an insufferable main character.
Yeah. Also, it's just better than Evangelion overall.
Yeah. We should do Evangelion at some point, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on that one because I both love and hate Evangelion in equal measures, and I'm gonna be very schizophrenic when we do the review for it.
Oh my god! But at any rate, we've covered a bunch of really good stuff. This is the whole of Mob Psycho might be the best we've seen. Legitimately.
Yeah.
And I do not say that
and we're saying that with Bebop on the list.
It's like legitimately it's this and Bebop
Yeah.
And I think Madoka Magica not that far behind.
I would agree with that assessment. Yeah. This and Bebop fighting for the top spot. With Madoka Magica not far behind.
And I'd say in terms of just on the pure strength of its writing, Odd Taxi not too far behind that.
And who's that with the steel chair? It's fucking Psycho-Pass.
Yeah, season 1 of Psycho-Pass. Just don't pay attention to the season 2 behind the curtain there.
We've never done season 2 of Psycho-Pass.
No.
Eric, it doesn't exist, Eric.
Let me give you my review of season 2 of Psycho-Pass. What if we explored all the same themes and ideas from season 1? We did it more poorly with a really stupid pretense with none of the characters you liked. That's season 2 of Psycho-Pass.
There we go. At any rate, we're not doing season 2 of Psycho-Pass. But I'm just blown away by Mob Psycho. Legitimately, I am.
It's honestly one of the finest shows I've ever seen.
It's great.
Finest shows, period. We're
talking not just anime. This is really good television. Fuck.
It's Breaking Bad, except you don't want to hurt yourself and other people after watching an episode.
Yes, I like that. I am fully behind the main character as opposed to going, wow, this is an entertaining villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like BoJack Horseman, except you don't want to crawl into a hole and die.
That's a show I've not watched and have no inclination to because I don't want to be that depressed.
BoJack Horseman is an amazing, well-written, oft-times hilarious exploration of both surrealism and nihilism.
Yep.
So it's an Eric show.
It's an Eric show.
All right. So, I mean, I guess we can move into final thoughts at this point. Otherwise we're just going to sit here just, going, but this was so good. Yeah. This is so good.
This is so good.
So, Gav, then me, then Eric, because Eric is your recommendation, so you get the final word.
All right.
Yeah, I think mine is summed up in what I said at the start. It's a case of we want more, but we appreciate that this is done. Mob Psycho is done. It is, like I say, no exaggeration on my part, the best anime I've watched in at least 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've again to temper that, I've enjoyed shows more.
Mm-hmm.
For various reasons.
Yep.
Either it's just caught me better or whatever else. I'm one of those that can get sucked in and start fucking cheering along with shit.
Yep.
At least internally, normally. And this didn't.
I don't know if you're not shouting along with the battle scenes in Gurren Lagann, then you have no soul.
Oddly enough, I was thinking about Gurren Lagann and what was the other one around the same time? Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
And those kind of things. But no, from a purely technical standpoint, this is This is the best show I've seen in at least 20 years. Bottom line is, go watch it. It is the whole thing all the way through twice, once in Japanese, once in English. And sit down, sit on your hands, don't do anything, and wait until the next thing that one brings out and see what he does with that.
Yeah, I'm going to start. I want to sort of Gav's last little bit there sort of ties into where I want to start, which is I am looking forward to whatever it is one is writing next. Like, I know he's still working on One Punch Man. I want to know what his next new story is. I'm excited for that. Like, he's one of those writers that I'm excited to see what he's going to do next, and I love that. So yeah, I'm very excited, very very excited about how much I very much enjoyed season 3 and the whole show. We talked about like the quality of the animation, the music, the writing, etc. It's just it's the whole sort of gestalt of Mob Psycho 100 is such high quality and so it speaks to you also. Like it's a very good story with a good message and good characters, and it sticks the landing, which is so hard to do. Like, not everybody can do that as well. Not everyone can do that. Like, I'm willing to bet you not like it's not something like even the best writers can do consistently. And so when you see it happen, you have to appreciate it. I'm bizarrely kind of at a loss for words to describe how much I appreciate the show. Eric nailed it, but I'm going to let him use the phrase again. It might literally be my favorite anime of all time, and it takes something to dethrone Yamato for me.
I will just mention as well before Eric takes over and rounds it off. Looking at the clock, this may very well be one of the shortest episodes we've ever done. This is because we have no complaints.
Yeah,
we would. We can fill 3 hours of superlatives if you want us to, but we have better things to do with our lives.
Yeah, and you probably have better things to listen to, honestly.
And honestly, we could go through like episode by episode like we do in so many other shows.
But we'd be doing you disservice.
We'd be doing you a grave disservice.
I agree.
Because it really should be.
It should be experienced.
Enjoyed as it is.
Yep.
Like, go ahead and spoil yourself all you want by reading synopses and whatnot. We would be doing a disservice to the show because there's no way we could describe it in a way that would make you want to go see it more than just fucking watching it.
Yeah, no, legitimately. Legitimately. Like, when I'm saying it might actually be dethroning Yamato for me, realize that Yamato is legitimately the show that got me into anime.
Yeah.
This is the show I watched when I was like, 7? Or 6 or something like that? That got me into, like, this is the cartoon that got me into cartoons, period. Like, this is what I'm saying. So when I say it, I think this might be my favorite anime now, that's carrying a lot of freaking weight. So yeah.
I feel like I got brought into anime by watching trash.
I mean, I got into anime watching, Space Battle, Star Blazers, so it's the English localization, which is arguably, I think there's some ways it did it better, but overall, it's not as good as the original.
Knew what I was watching wasn't great, but I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, I think I can't say much more than that, so I'm just going to hand it over to Eric.
So, I'm going to tell you guys a bit of a story.
Okay.
So, anime was one of those things I'd find, like, on TV and whatnot in, like, growing up, and just was utterly fascinated and enthralled by. And it was impossible to find growing up. And, into the 90s, as I get into high school, it starts showing up, like, in random, like, video stores, and I can pick it up that way. And I didn't see an anime all the way through until, I think it was actually Cowboy Bebop.
Aha.
Because someone had the box set and I borrowed it and I watched it all the way through in a single night. And I sort of rejected how good it was. Like, I just like, this isn't that good. It can't be that good. Nothing's that fucking good.
Right.
Like, so it clearly, that's why I told people. It was great. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't the best thing ever. And then I sort of, as I digested it, I came to realize, no, it was. It was the best thing ever. It was one of the best, and I kind of feel like I'm having the same experience with Mob Psycho 100.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's one of those shows that can't be that good, but it fucking is. Nothing's this fucking purely great. Doesn't hit all the buttons in exactly the same way. It doesn't hit every button with such effortless grace. And yeah, that's Mob Psycho 100. Like the character relationships are front and center throughout the entire show, and it's how everyone like interacts with one another, and with Mob in particular, he's our point of view character. But like I could do an hour-long character study that's just me like fucking ranting like a lunatic about how great Reagan is as a character.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is a man who just is composed almost entirely in of lies. Like everything he does is a fucking lie. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie, but somehow always speaks the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Because he builds himself up through these lies, and it creates his confidence, and then just these fonts of wisdom and good advice come out of his mouth, or these cutting insights into people's psyches when he's dealing with an adversary just drives straight to the core of the person. It's just always, after about 5 to 20 minutes of him spewing pure bullshit.
He's an inverse fairy.
Yes, exactly. The man must lie to tell the truth.
But I get what you mean.
That whole idea is just great, and the fact that he so clearly cares about the people around him, but can never actually show it, without the pretense, is just what a fucking great character. Plus, he's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. I get what you mean when you open this. It's when you say you don't quite believe that this is as good as it is. Like,
Yeah.
What the fuck is character work, animation, storyline, writing, all of this doing on a weekly serialized show? You know.
Yeah.
Why? Where the fuck has this come from?
And that's Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah.
It's just. And you know what? It might not be your cup of tea. You might not
that's
love
fair.
it.
And
That's
totally
fine.
fair. Totally
That's
fair.
Cool. I totally understand bouncing off the stylizations in the show, because the show is made of stylization.
Yeah, and it might not be your cup of tea. Like, that is totally fair.
The show must lie to tell you these essential truths it wants to tell you. That's the show.
Yeah.
The show is Reagan.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, I would say we're giving it resoundingly all the thumbs up, not just like 3, 4, no, all of them, every thumb, like worldwide, just up, thumbs up, good.
Yeah, all the thumbs plus other appendages.
Just go watch this if you haven't. Just even if you have watched it, rewatch it. Like, God, this show's good.
This show has the highest praise I can give. That's just it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So that, I think, will do it for our discussion of Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, and I guess the series as a whole. God, I'm looking forward to whatever one does next. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it for this episode. Gav, have you decided what we're doing next, since you're the one next up on the docket?
I am down to 2.
Okay.
I will possibly 3 or 4. Definitely no more than 6. But I'll narrow something down by Friday.
Okay. That's going to be it for now,
Resident Evil
guys.
Shield Hero Season 2.
How dare. We're watching Demon Slayer. No, we're fucking not.
That's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching, listening. I hope you enjoyed. It's recorded live on twitch.tv/MechaGM. We record episodes of this whenever we finish a series, basically. So that's why it's erratic. It takes however long it takes us to get through a show is how long it takes to get through a show. So
Yeah.
but that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Take care. Have a great rest of your morning, evening, whatever it is, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.